Hello, baby doll apple juice from a glass jar. Ah. Alright, friends, today we're going to go through some hex fun. But this is not meant to tell you, hey, buy this coin. We are going to look at the insightful lessons to be learned from different influencers, how they play the crowd, how they see stuff, what we can learn, because there's going to be infinite opportunities ahead of us in the next 10 years, and we want to learn these lessons now so we can get a competitive advantage on top of everyone else. Look at this. I spent so much time, these images blew up my computer. I had to restart and make it twice. This is how much I love you guys. We are friends. My chair is squeaky and my back is straight. I hope yours is straight too. You fix it right now. Nobody's going to watch this video with a slanted posture. So, look at this. Since the first FUD tweet, which I'm going to show you, a hex FUD tweet, it went up 82,500% against Bitcoin. So, if you're new, I want you to know, charting against USD is a Muppets game. You don't do that. You chart against the quote-unquote lowest perceived risk index. You chart against Bitcoin. That is the basic premise of why you should be like in crypto anyway, right? It's to like outperform the base. So when we look at yield, for example, in the stock market, we want to look at, okay, what did the stock market return and what did the US treasuries return? Because they're just printing out fiat and giving it to you, right? So if they're giving you 5%, why would you take stock market risk and make like 5 or 6%? It's not worth it, okay? So you need to get excess numbers on top of what the base is. So when we chart hex against Bitcoin, that's what we show. So, man, I've got a lot of content today. So very interesting, right? Very interesting. My friend alerted me to something. Now, I love Simon Dixon. Simon Dixon is a crypto influencer. He's been around. I think he wrote the first book, which actually had the word Bitcoin in it. He's an OG, probably has thousands and thousands and thousands of Bitcoin, and he gives some really great lessons. But for some reason, today, he woke up with blood in his eyes. He just said, you know, I'm going to retweet this hex FUD. And I saw this, and I was like, why? Why would you do this? Now, I remember Simon was in a Twitter Spaces with Richard Hart, and I want you guys to learn this lesson. So, you know, Celsius was the recent exploded middleman broker, the Ponzi that collapsed. Celsius, right? So, Simon had been going and trusting Alex, the founder of Celsius, for all those years during the bull market, and it all exploded. Ponzi, and it got really messy. It's really messy right now. So Simon's an OGR. He's loaded. And he had an approach that Charles Hoskinson takes when they speak to a community during a time of turmoil. And his approach, so you can listen to it in the Twitter Spaces, because it's 3 hours. Simon's approach is, let's be kind to everybody. Let's have a somber attitude. Let's like speak with a low tone and go, I'm really sorry. Let's grieve together, right? Now, what happened was the founder of Hex, Richard Hart, aka Ricardo Corazon, he had a completely different approach. Completely. So Richie Hart, so I'm going to delete Alex here. So Richie's approach was not to be, hey, I'm really sorry, this and that. His approach was more firm. It was, no, I'm not going to be very weak and gentle to you. You have to learn your lesson now. You got scammed. You trusted the wrong person. Crypto was invented to remove middlemen. Get your keys off these exchanges. And I think he even said in his Twitter Spaces, he goes, don't even buy my coin. Don't buy my coin. Nothing to do with my coin. I'm not going to talk about my coin. Just get your keys off. Get your money off. We don't trust them. You can't. We made crypto to avoid this. So I automatically saw this clash of egos. I was like, oh my God, wow, I'm witnessing this battle in real time and no one cares. It's funny, right? I remember I was training chest at the time. I was pumping weights and I was like, wow. So just want to let you know, there is a clash here. So I built the backdrop, the story that you're not going to find anywhere else as to maybe why a retweet comes here from Simon to speak about the Hex scheme is at risk of blowing up. Now, if you know this was posted back in 2022 in May, okay? So what ends up happening is my friend shows me this, and I'm like, wait, you know this dude, Bradson, I wonder if he's made previous Hex tweets. So I go through his Twitter and I search, and boom, I bring you the juice. Not only has he made one, he's got like 20, 30. He's got more. I couldn't even fit it here. So it's interesting. It's interesting. Like, friends, just please, for as long as you live, your goal in life should be this, okay? You never want someone to make a meme of you about any coin where you just refuse to adapt for all this time. Now, I will see a coin going down. Maybe it's got hyperinflation, but I will tell you, hey, I'm ready to buy. If there's a big wave that goes up, so you're looking at this chart, Hex against Bitcoin. Look at this. You could have easily just said, hey, this thing's a scam. Stay with Bitcoin. It's safe. You could have made that case here, okay? But when you see this giant wave up here, you say, all right, I'm going to now start to notice whatever this thing is. Is there a community? Is there a religion being formed? What's going on? Are there people joining? Let's go check the Telegram. Let's go check Twitter. Let's go check their YouTube. Are there any streamers? Are people talking about it? You see, all these qualitative things, this helps build your conviction. So, yes, you missed out on the very, very bottom, but you can't go buy 1,000 coins or 5,000 coins because there's too many. But now that you have this confirmed action up, all right, now you start to notice it. And by the way, you're speaking to someone, me, who did this exact same thing. We're going to change this color to pumpermental green. So, yes, I saw this move, and I was like, oh, crap, I can't ignore this. And I got in like, bang, here. So I just waited. I said, you know, if you are the next coming of Christ as a coin, you're going to get cheap again, and I'm going to get you. And that's it. That's what happened. You don't have to marry a position forever. Or do you? So that's what we're going to go through in my video now. All right, we're going to continue. Look at this. There's all these tweets here. There's even a deleted tweet where he basically admits Hex has done pretty well. so he said it in this tweet and he deletes it, okay? Now, you can go through, look on my Twitter, you can see all these tweets, but basically just Fudding Hex. Look, what I even did for you, I measured all the percentages it's up since the tweets, plus 880%. Down here, plus 15,900% since the tweet. The giant one, he actually fudded the exact low. Plus 82,500%. This is against Bitcoin. Against Bitcoin. Now, this person, Bradson, he is a Bitcoin Maxi. So, this is where the conflict of interest comes, friends. Because you are listening to people, and everyone's got a portfolio. Some people are full on Bitcoin. Some people are full on Ethereum. Some people are full on some altcoins. Some people have everything. Some people have nothing. You know, there are bears out there with more than 50% USD. Right? That's bears. If you have 50% or more USD, you are just full blown bear. There's no arguing that. So everyone's got an agenda. Everyone's trying to sell you something. If it's not selling you a direct indicator, VIP group, paid subscription, they're selling you on the religion. It's like, hey, come join this thing. But see, I'm just helping you see now with Bitcoin, it's no different. Yes, Bitcoin's beautiful and great when it was invented. I'm just letting you know, Bitcoin has maxis who got in early. The Bitcoin maxis, they bought it and they mined it for free, right? They bought it under $100. They bought Bitcoin under $500. So, of course, they want to see it do the 1000x. They want to see it go above 500K. Of course they do. Because they're in the coin, they do not want to click sell and then go do the hard work and look for something else. Now, in the world we live in is very complicated sometimes, and it's always changing. Nothing's static. So it's not about what I want or what you want. It's just what is, all right? It's what is. And this is the weather of the cryptocurrency industry right now. And the weather is that the storms are coming for maxis. That's it. It's just happening every single month. You see more MetaMask adoption, more NFT stuff come out. More companies want to come and adopt different payment rails around the Ethereum EVM system. A lot of things are happening which are not the Bitcoin only narrative. So you can sit here and ignore it. You can hold your Bitcoin. That's okay. But you probably get a greatly diminished return. And why I'm looking out for you is I'm just letting you know now, if you're holding onto that narrative, you are not going to be a happy camper when you get the diminished return in 3, 4, 5, 6 years, and finally you capitulate at the worst time. Unfortunately, it might be just buying like Ethereum through the high when ETH BTC gets flipped or something like that. I promise you that's what's going to happen. People are just going to sit on their hands, thinking the right side, and then realize they're not, all at the same time. And we're here to get ahead of the crowd. So look at this guy, just fudded Bitcoin, and you could use some risk management here. Like, you can see something growing. You think, okay, fair enough. This guy's probably got 1,000 Bitcoin, whatever. You might say to yourself, all right, well, why don't I just put 0.5 Bitcoin somewhere, or 1, right? If you put 1 Bitcoin, that's 0.1% of his portfolio. He's like, well, if this thing works out, I guess I'm participating in the upside. He would have made so much. By the way, if you put 0.1 Bitcoin here at the lows, all right, he would have had 825 Bitcoin. He would have almost doubled his portfolio of 1,000 Bitcoin. So you need to have good risk management. And having good risk management is allocating the size of your bullets, okay? So I went through all these tweets, and he's just been retweeting all this hex FUD over and over, and red candles and red candles. So if you see all this information, I understand. You think, wow, this guy, and by the way, I went to his website, okay? I went to a website, and he brags, I've been mining Bitcoin since 2011. He's basically bragging, hey, I got in early. Okay, so I know you don't interpret this as that, but I'm interpreting it here for you. When someone makes a website like this and they brag about their portfolio, and I'm going to show you, he says he's got a multi-million-dollar portfolio and he got into Bitcoin early. It's an ego thing. He's basically saying, I'm a genius, I got in early, I'm the visionary. But are you the visionary? He got to buy Bitcoin under $1. You and everyone else, you got to buy Bitcoin above 20,000. You're buying his 20,000x bag. Okay. Now, I'm just telling you now, it's not about what I like or what you like. I am thinking about the downtrodden of society. I'm thinking about the next 100 million people who are going to come into crypto. Are they going to come in to a digital gold narrative? Are they going to come in and see Bitcoin privacy and all these like weird stuff that no one uses? Look, all these brand names, wow, a European Bitcoin only exchange, like all these things, right? Bitcoin education in native African languages. Friends, I just want you to know, okay? These people, they do the exact same thing that they preach against. And that is, they get money, they get they find a group of people building something, they give them the money, and they want a return on it, okay? Don't let them fool you. But what they say is, hey, we're building stuff for our religion, so therefore it's moral, and it's pure, and it's ethical. So you can believe that if you want. I'm telling you, there are religions out there. Yeah, man. Yeah, there are religions out there where they will let the cult leader go bang everyone's wives while they're out chopping wood in the forest. Yes, that's okay. If you want to go join that cult, go ahead, man. You want your wife to be banged by the cult leader while you're out chopping wood? We don't need wood. You know why. We wear fluffy slippers. It can be as cold as you want outside. So we're not going to go join that cult. But we can sit and observe. Maybe go hang out with them for a day. Drink with them. But don't forget, it's the same game. It's the same game. You see all these companies, you think they don't want a return? Honestly, you think all of this is a donation? Really? You think all of this is, yes, I'm just giving this out to society for free? No. Only one guy gave it out to society for free, and his name was Satoshi. And actually, that's why this guy's doing this whole thing, right? So it's funny enough. So look, how can you look at this chart, by the way, and just keep tweeting over and over and over again? Like, you're not very smart. How did you buy Bitcoin in 2011 and mine it, and you don't even know how to use log chart? Like, there's so many other coins to FUD. Oh my God, crypto's got 22,000 coins, but they FUD HEX because it's a threat. Okay, what these guys don't know, okay, what Simon doesn't know, and what Brad doesn't know, is someone like me. Okay, I'm not a mid-curver, and you're not a mid-curver. We have one special ability, and that is to recognize that we are peanut brains. And we're going to do a little peanut here. So yeah, we're peanut brains, and we're going to be size 40 font peanut brains. That's exactly what we are. And peanut brains look at this and say, wait a minute, This doesn't make sense. How come this thing, which is so irrelevant, is on the tip of your tongue every month? How come you keep talking about it? Go talk about XRP or Cardano or any of the other scams. Go talk about Doge or SHIB. By the way, they're not scams. It's tongue in cheek, okay? But they're not. They're not. So this is a signal to me. They're a threat. It's in their minds. I think they're scared that Ricardo Corazon, he actually solved the formula. I think they're scared of that. So, solving the formula is, how do you build a community to emulate the success of Bitcoin? Because they say Bitcoin is an immaculate conception. Max Kaiser uses that term. The Bitcoin magazine uses that term. They all use that term. They say you can't ever replicate Bitcoin, ever. Because it was the Genesis blockchain. It really is like a religious story to that, right? But here's one important part. You now sit here at the point of inflection. You now know there are diminished gains, friends, right? Don't tell me there aren't diminished gains in Bitcoin. You know there are, all right? We're not going to sit here and be up with the fairies. We know, okay? We know there are diminished gains. Look at this. It's slowing down. I mean, it doesn't take a genius to figure out, oh, you were going down a lot, going up a lot, and now you're not going up as much. Wow. Doesn't take a genius to figure that out. So, you're looking at diminishing gains. Is it too late? Well, you have a long time here to think about, okay? The next 100 million people coming into crypto, all right? Next 100 million, all right? Some quick numbers for you, remember. So they say Bitcoin has 40 million unique holders. Okay, that's what they say. And they also say Ethereum has 450,000 daily active users. Okay, just some quick numbers for you here. I just want you to know, the world really is our oyster. Do you genuinely believe in your heart that the next 100 million people who are coming in are going to care about this coin that used to be worth $1 is now worth $22,000, $50,000, $100,000? Do you honestly think that? Because I know technically, yes, the price of it shouldn't matter. It's what it does and what it represents. Okay, you can live in that world. That's okay. I live in this world. All right, this is how I think about it. Peanut brain. Let's get the peanut brain out. Okay, peanut brain. It's size 40 font. Oh, here we go. My peanut brain says, if you are somebody, part of these 100 million people, and you're still not in crypto, this is what you did not respond to, all right? You didn't care about Satoshi and Bitcoin at the start. You didn't care about its first price pump here. You didn't care about Cyprus banning the banks. You didn't care about that narrative. You didn't even care about Bitcoin's store of value and payments narratives, okay? You didn't care about the Plus token Ponzi. You didn't care about DeFi. And here you didn't care about gaming, metaverse, Elon Musk buying. You didn't care about them. Now I've just walked you through literally the whole crypto industry in every single cycle. You did not care one single flying truck about any of those narratives. That's what I'm thinking. So, and you didn't care about the Bitcoin ETF either. All right. So in my heart, I'm thinking, why the hell is these new people, why are they going to care about whatever you offer them next in Bitcoin? I want to know. With the most disadvantages you could ever offer, which is 1, Ethereum existing, 2, NFTs existing, 3, gaming metaverse existing, and 4, a giant, huge unit bias price with Bitcoin miners dumping about 600 million on your head every month. Okay. So this is my peanut brain thinking like, wait a minute, these people, if they cared, they would be in already. Which means this is how we're deducing this, friends. Let's get a world emoji. Okay. My final message to you. This is how my brain's thinking. Okay. This is the world. All right. The world's got a lot of people. All right. So part of it have already adopted Bitcoin, you know, piece of the pie. The Bitcoin Maxis genuinely believe, you know, all this other part, they genuinely believe these other part people, they're coming into Bitcoin, but they just haven't woken up yet. And see, that's the game. That's the risk we take. The risk we take is, okay, is it that they haven't woken up yet, or that they've kind of heard about it, but they don't care? That is the earthquake. That is the crack in the earth's crust right here. That's the shattering. You now have to decide. If you believe that these next 100 million people, it's that they haven't heard about Bitcoin ever, even though Elon Musk bought it and all this other stuff. If you genuinely believe they're going to be more than happy to come FOMO buy Bitcoin, hold your Bitcoin Maxi portfolio. That's fine. And hold your fiat. Okay. But for the rest of us who are actually speaking to people, communicating, I'm in Telegrams, I'm in Discords, I have friends and family who are coming in. I get ground research. I go and ask people, and I still notice, I go, you know what? I've been talking to you about market cap for 4 years, and you still don't understand. You still want to buy the low unit bias coin, and you still want to get into the early growing community. That's how I would always make my theories and everything for you guys on my content, right? Because I learn all this stuff. I'm like, wow, this is crazy. So you got to think now. Are we at the point where people just go full on Bitcoin Maxi, or they go, hey, I want to do crypto, but I don't want you to call it crypto. I want it to be another word, right? Find another way to get me in. Okay, so that's going to be the difference, right? That's why the biggest gains you get is with the unknown. You have to step into the unknown. Stepping into Hex is stepping into the unknown. This can go to zero, yeah. But if this religion keeps growing and it keeps forming and people actually come in, and of the next 100 million people, by the way, Hex is about 0.3% of Bitcoin size. Okay? 0.3%. So you know what that means? That means in the next 100 million people coming in, all right, do you, even if you think of the 100 million people coming into Bitcoin, if you think just 1 million of them, 1%, would probably consider buying Hex, just 1%, all right? That means you are hyper bullish on this Hex BTC chart. Extremely bullish. It's got low liquidity and it's tiny. So, you know, I'm helping you deduce these, like, we're going through a logical stream here in your mind, in your brain, from step one to that. That's actually what you're basically saying to yourself, you know. You look in the mirror, you go, oh my God, if I think in the next round of people, 100 million people, if 1 million of them consider buying Hex, man, I'm bullish on Hex BTC. So I've kind of helped you deduce this without even knowing. Okay. So all these people, all these influencers, they have their own agenda. We know where they come from, where the industry is going. You have so much evidence, but we just don't have a crystal ball. You actually just don't know what the prices are going to be in 12, 24, 36 months. All you can do is buy and hold, and I'll be there with you every step of the way. You tell your mum you love her. I'll see you next time, friends.